Today's conversation is part of our Cascading Impact series of conversations. So here at the Morris County Chamber of Commerce, one of our key goals is to really build bridges and foster relationships among chamber members. How do we do that? Well, we're always on the lookout for unique, fresh, and innovative programming ideas designed to help us achieve that goal. And a terrific example of that is something you're going to learn a lot about, and that is the Hands-On Philanthropy Program. Now, this program was brought to us by Jay Weissman of the Legacy Philanthropy Group, and Jay facilitated this through the Health and Wellness Committee under the leadership of Kathy Degatti. And you are going to witness through these conversations the profound impact this program has had on some of our chamber members. So the Cascading Impact interviews and conversation series is really designed to shine a light on these members and how things like intentionality, collaboration, and the spirit of innovation has had such a huge impact and can have a huge impact on so many lives in and around Morris County. So sit back and get ready to enjoy some wonderful conversations with some truly amazing people. Hello and welcome to MCTV's Let's Talk. I'm Mike Stanzillas, Vice President of Membership and Government Affairs for the Morris County Chamber of Commerce. And today we're continuing our discussion about this cascading impact that the Health and Wellness Committee has put out there into our community with hands-on philanthropy. Today's guest is Shaun Adams. Shaun is the Executive Director of Roots and Wings. Shaun earned a bachelor's degree in social work from Iona College and a master's degree from the Hunter School of Social Work. For over 16 years, Shaun has been working in the fields of trauma and supportive housing. Shaun's passion has been to help those who have endured cycles of trauma and abuse break free of those harmful relationships, patterns, and belief systems. Shaun is passionate about building healthy communities, creating stable and nurturing environments, and supporting a strong team of clinicians to make a significant impact in helping his clients to define and achieve full and satisfying lives for themselves. So Shaun, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mike. Thanks so much for that very warm introduction. I'm really excited to be here.
You know, we're really fortunate to have you here. And, the introduction really speaks volumes about who you are and what you do and your commitment and passion towards helping others. So why don't you, before we get into the cascading impact that we're talking about through this series, hands-on philanthropy, tell us a little bit about what Roots and Wings does.
Sure. So Roots and Wings was founded in 1999 by Irene de Grand Prix. She was a CASA volunteer, which was a mentor for young people in the foster care system. And she saw, heartbreakingly young people at the age of 18 aging out of foster care with literally nowhere to go. They had, no housing, no family to rely on, really minimal education, and really no resources. So she decided to take a young person into her own home to really allow them 2 to 3 years so that they could finish school, get a job, and really become established and become self-sufficient. And so she also, from what I understand, in Mountain Lakes, was very influential with her neighbors. And so they started doing the same thing, and Roots and Wings was born. And since then, we have expanded to serve 21 young people in 4 apartments in Union County and 4 apartments in Morris County. And we allow our young people to live there between 2 and 4 years so they can focus on their education, save money, begin their careers, and then really become self-sufficient. And after they graduate from our residential program, we continue to provide case management and support services for up to 18 months so that our young people can really become established.
What's an incredible story. I think your founder there was a need that she saw, and I'm sure she felt some pain on that, and she just filled that gap, filled that need in her own home, and look at it years later, it's this incredible success story. So, it's just great to have Roots and Wings as part of our community. So let's talk about how the Morris County Chamber of Commerce, the Health and Wellness Committee, got together with Roots and Wings. So for those that haven't been watching the series, our Health and Wellness Committee embraced something called hands-on philanthropy. We're very blessed to have a member here, Jay Weissman. He brought hands-on philanthropy to the Health and Wellness Committee. The chair of the committee, Kathy Degatti, just took it and ran with it. They put together different teams of about 3 to 4 people per team, and they each went out and looked for a not-for-profit that they can get behind and really help. So the team that picked you is the Food Fighters. And the Food Fighters is Kathy DeGotti, Lois Manzello Marchetto, Michael Chiardella, and Billy Stetzel. Big shout out to the Food Fighters. So walk us through the process that the Food Fighters took you through. You know, how many meetings, how long did the program last? Just give us a kind of overview of what the Food Fighters and the Chamber brought to the table for Roots and Wings.
Sure. I mean, overall, it was a phenomenal program with amazing, amazing people. So it was an 8-week course, and it really was meant to, every week, there were 2 facilitators that partnered together in order to teach our young people about healthy eating, you know, how to live a balanced life, really learning about nutrition, how to cook cheaply, because that's a big concern for our young people is how can they purchase healthy food, which can be expensive on a budget. Really about food and mood. There were so many different components to it. And, you know, not only was it this amazing 8-week course, but, you know, the thing that I say all the time, and I think that our young people really loved, was you could feel the warmth, the compassion, the love for our young people. And it was done virtually, you know, and we didn't know what that would look like, because this is as we were moving, you know, through the pandemic, and, you know, would our young people be engaged virtually? And I can tell you, it was really some of the most amazing people I've ever met that I now talk to all the time. And we feel so fortunate to have worked with such an amazing, you know, just influential, smart, caring group of people that really helped to change the mindset around food, mood, health, and well-being of our young people.
That is absolutely outstanding. Give us a specific example of one of these young persons and maybe what they learned or picked up from this, you know, food, mood, shopping, you know, the whole 9 yards. Give us an example, if you have, of a young person that.
Oh, absolutely. I have an example of a few young people. So one of the classes was right around Thanksgiving. And so we had this huge delivery of food from multiple sources, which was great. But, you know, within those donations, I mean, there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you know, donations. And the young people started going through the boxes and were like, no, this is no good. This has corn syrup. No, this is no good. This has too much sugar. No, this is, you know, too many carbs. And it was really interesting to see them do that, because before that, you know, they would really live off of ramen noodles and Hot Pockets, which are filled with sodium. And they actually started looking at those things and saying, like, you know what, this is not going to help me through school. Like, I'm going to get really tired after eating this, so I'm not going to eat this. And we literally just stood back and were like, wow, that really had such an impact on them. It was amazing to see.
Wow, that is incredible. I wish all young people would go through their food and look at it, because, you know, you hear about these food deserts in highly populated, underserved neighborhoods, and it's all of what they were just going through, you know, all that junk, basically.
Yeah.
So aside from food and cooking and eating and making the right choices, was there anything else that the Food Fighters talked about with your clients?
Oh, absolutely. You know, when we met to do the planning, which I thought was so well done. I mean, we had many planning sessions before even launching this. There was so much thought and collaboration put in from all of the different facilitators. And really, one of the things that a lot of the facilitators shared that I think made this so compelling is they were very vulnerable and talked about their own struggles in life. You know, because I think that a lot of our young people see people that are very successful in the Food Fighters, and, you know, many of them having their own businesses. And, you know, everyone in the Food Fighters really wanted to normalize that we all struggle. We've all gone through things. And they really talked about those struggles in a very open and vulnerable way, which really opened the door for our young people to feel comfortable. And I think that that is one of the most critical things that made this such a huge success.
Wow, yeah, it's just a great story all around. So, you know, there's the giver-getter equation in the not-for-profit world, right? You guys are the receivers of a lot of people who come help you be successful. The Food Fighters were the givers, but, you know, it's a two-way street. What do you think the Food Fighters got out of this experience, either personally or for their professional brand? What is the giver-getter equation for this scenario?
Sure. It really was a two-way street, you know, and as much as they gave us, we wanted to give back to them because they were just so wonderful and great to work with. So, you know, the relationship continues. You know, this ended several months ago, and we continue to collaborate on different things. So, you know, everyone from the Food Fighters has really gotten to understand, you know, what our young people go through, and they really were able to connect on that level. And I think that that was rewarding. They've also, then supported our gala. And, some folks, Lois and Kathy and other people donated their time in gift certificates. So we had auction items for our gala, which was amazing and unbelievable. We then will acknowledge them on social media and our website to thank them and to put the word out there of the good work that they're doing in their own businesses. The other thing is they inspired one of our young men, very talented fashion designer. He just graduated from Montclair State University with his bachelor's degree and has started a streetwear line. And so through their talking about the ownership of their own businesses and doing what they love, they inspired him to do something he didn't think he could do, which was to start his own business. He's now started an LLC for his streetwear. And, they've helped him do that. And he's thanked them. He did a video to thank them, to acknowledge them. And so this partnership, this beautiful community that's been built between our organization and the Morris County Chamber of Commerce and all of these small businesses has just been amazing. And, just continues to grow. Now we're working on our 5K, which is coming up in a few weeks. And Lois, we've invited to do a stretching session. And, we're going to support her in that and put her business out there for doing that. And so it really is a two-way partnership. And we want to really support all of these businesses that have supported us in any way we can.
You mentioned so many of the great words that I think are part of this collaboration, right? That's one of the words you kept mentioning. There's impact here. This young person started his own design clothing company. You guys it was very intentional what you guys were working on. But what I really see is this cascading impact. And it's what we always talk about. When you throw a pebble into a pond,
yes,
that ripple goes out and you don't know where it's going to go. And it ends up in all these amazing places. So the impact is just really outstanding. So, in closing, Shaun, where do you see this going? I mean, are the food fighters, are they here to stay with you guys? Is this a sustainable program? What's the future for you and the food fighters look like?
It's so interesting. The food fighters really became like a part of our staff. We met with them every week. The whole staff, including our young people, loved meeting with them. They were so positive and upbeat. And, you talked about that cascading effect and that ripple effect. One of the other things that we talk about with our young people is the importance of building a community, right? And so a lot of our young people have lived through significant trauma. And what we try to say is there's so many good, I know that you've seen the bad, but there's so many good people out there. And, the food fighters really reinforce this concept, right, of community and coming together and trusting and building those relationships and seeing how that then ripples out throughout your life. And you need that to be a successful person. And so the food fighters, not only did they teach them about healthy eating and living, they taught them about community. They taught them about connection and what that means. And so that's amazing. And we don't want that to ever stop. I mean, once the pandemic is over, we would love to meet with the food fighters in person. And continuing to building these relationships. Kathy has connected us to many other people. Val, who is part of Morris County Chamber of Commerce, and so many other people are out there. And we've done now financial literacy workshops. We've done so many other things with the Morris County Chamber of Commerce, which has been amazing. And Mairead, I'm sorry, I also meant to say Mairead, who is part of also doing the financial literacy workshops, which came out of meeting the food fighters, which has been unbelievable.
Just more of that cascading impact. You don't know where this ripple effect is going to take you. So, Shaun, it's been a great journey with you going through this, and I've learned so much about Roots and Wings and the food fighters. I just want to give another shout out to the food fighters: Kathy DeGatti, Lois Manzella Marchetto, Michael Ciardella, and Billy Stetzel. Thank you to the food fighters. Thank you so much, Shaun Adams, Roots and Wings. And thank you to our amazing Chamber of Commerce members. We really appreciate your support. And I highly recommend you check out Roots and Wings. Thank you, Shaun.